welcome back to Dragon Age 2. Let's read about the Bone Pit. Hawk, if you're looking for work, there's a rich merchant at Hightown who's got trouble with his mining operation. If you haven't heard of the Bone Pit, the locals say it's cursed. I don't put much stock in it, but I had to turn down the job because of marchers in my crew making the rest superstitious. Go speak to Hubert Bartier in the Hightown's market if you're interested. I am. It's very important I do that. Hawk, a dwarf named Onso contacted the Red Iron looking for a contract work. Wish I could take him up on it, but we've pressing business, so I recommended you. The dwarf pays well, so don't be a fool and miss out. Look for Onso in Lowtown Bazaar at night if you're interested. Bait and switch. That feels like a trap. I feel like there's something else wrong there. Weird. Light. Alright, now we're gonna go out and do stuff. So, yeah, let's head to the Black Emporium, just get this quest out of the way. We're not going to spend much time here, so let's explore it now and get it out. The corpse is talking.
Thaddeus, stand straight. Places, everyone.
Thaddeus? That, an old virgin child. Interesting and nude.
To the Black Emporium.
Uh-huh. Okay. Exnon.
I am the great and magnificent.
Alright, let's read about you instead, because that seems like it'll be faster. Features, characters. You received the invitation? Then you are fortunate indeed. Xenon is no ordinary man, as you have discovered for yourself when you enter the Black Emporium. The item you'll see resting in the chair is not one of the displays. Rather, it is the proprietor. It may speak to you. That's Xenon, using the mystical bauble that has allowed him to communicate since he lost the power of speech. The story tells that Xenon was a Kirkwall nobleman in the Age of Steel, almost 300 years ago, obsessed with the pursuit of eternal life. He made a deal with a powerful witch. Some say it was the legendary Antivan Witch of the Wares. Interesting. And his wish was granted. He obtained eternal life, but not eternal youth. His body became decrepit, and he used his vast wealth to seek out new ways to preserve it. Some were magical, many were dangerous, and almost all of them were unsuccessful. What remains is an immobile mass of twisted flesh, and I think Xenon's mind has slowly decayed along with his body. He hid away in the Undercity and has slowly amassed a collection that's sure to amaze. If he invited you, he thinks you have the coin he needs to further his search for a cure. Just don't think of stealing anything. The golem is not for show. Although you're free to look around the shop, I wouldn't suggest staying over long. You might be present for one of the baths his servant gives him hourly to keep his flesh from becoming completely desiccated. Trust me, you don't want that. Okay. Xenon. The Vessel of Tears. Although this wax-stopped vassal is clearly labeled Tears shed during the burning of Treviso, many questions remain, not the least of which is which burning of Treviso? When the Canari conquered it in 635 Steel? When it was burned by the liberating armies of the White and Black Divines during the Second Exalted March of 752 Storm? Or when it accidentally burned to the ground in 862 Blessed after a dockhand knocked over a lantern in a warehouse full of lamp oil? Even assuming the correct event could be determined, the question of whose tears have been collected remains. Presumably not any of the numerous fire victims. Surviving relatives, perhaps? Nobles with summer homes on the Ativian coast. It should be noted that nowhere on the label does it say that these tears were shed in relation to the event, so they could have been the tears of a woman in Mont Simond weeping because she was not asked to dance at the last costume ball, unaware that at that very moment one of the greatest port cities of Thedas was aflame. That's...
Look around. So many things to admire.
Stare into the mirror of transformation. That's how I change my appearance. Don't want to. What are you selling? Sell junk. Hand axe. Don't use. Don't use. Don't use. Don't use. I don't have a helmet on. I can't use that, so I guess I will be using the Mask of the Imperial. Oh, maybe not, but we'll see. That one's better than mine. Those are the same thing. Belt. Don't have a belt on yet. Sturdy belt. That's better. Cap of the Ativan King. Can't wear it. Waver bow. I think, well, can't use that either. Maker's Sigh. Huh. Useful. Alright.
Rare, enchanted.
What do you got for crafting? Rock armor potion. I do like that. Fell poison. Crow venom. Fun. Crow venom. Do-do-do-do-do. Take all the recipes. Love making things myself. Box of... Box of Screaming. I received the box from a man I met in the Silent Plains. He spoke little and would not reveal his name. For reasons I shall not detail here, I have been kidnapped and left for dead at that gray, wind-blasted wasteland. Okay. After days of walking, I was parched and close to death. I was about to dash my head on a rock to speed my passing when the man arrived. He possessed a water skin containing ample water for a person traveling from our location to the Imperial Highway. From there, he said, I could find my way to Solus, or Preventium. He offered to give me the water skin if I agreed to take 3 things from him: a glowing crystalline shard, a bronze sphere, and an iron-bound box with no hinges. I asked the man if he wished to have these items delivered. He said that he merely wanted me to have them. It was an odd request, but I was too weak and too desperate to think much of it, so I agreed. The man put the items in a leather sack, which he handed to me along with the water. What about you? I asked. He said nothing, only pointed in the direction from which I had come. There is nothing that way. He merely smiled at me. There is nothing that way, I said. He merely smiled at me. I found the Imperial Highway about a day later, and a caravan driver agreed to take me to Peraventium in exchange for the large glowing shard. In Peraventium, I bartered the bronze sphere for new clothes, and new clothes and a room in the inn. That night I examined the iron-bound box and found no way to open it. I held it to my ear and thought I heard slow, measured breathing coming from within. My mind was afire with curiosity, and I obtained from the innkeeper a large hammer, thinking to smash the thing open. The moment the hammer touched the box, it shrieked. The shrill sound pierced the depths of my soul. I gave the box to the innkeeper in the morning and felt better for having rid myself of it.
Master Socks. You can never have enough socks.
True, never have enough socks indeed.
I'm tired of those plebeian items. Take what you like. No charge.
Oh.
No
Okay.
charge.
Oh. Look at that. Yeah, okay.
You hear me?
Okay, that is. The pickled apples of Arlanthian. I expressed my incredulity to the shop's assistant, who coldly noted that he did not like my implication. He insisted that every article in the Black Imperium was genuine, no fakes, imitations, or cheap knockoffs. I must have appeared unconvinced, for the assistant narrowed his eyes at me and disappeared in the bowels of the shop. Returning several minutes later, he removed the jar of pickled apples from its display case and proceeded to carefully, reverently remove the wax seal from the lid of the jar. I watched with fascination. The jar was opened and a single rosy apple pulled from it. It looked as if it had been picked just that day. At the peak of ripeness, with a paring knife, the assistant cut the thinnest sliver of flesh from the apple and presented it to me. The flavor of that one small sliver was astonishing. It was as close to a perfect apple as ever there was. I was experiencing the essence of every apple ever eaten, and that will ever be eaten. When it was over, the sense of loss that filled me was sharp enough to move me to tears. The rest of the apple was returned to the jar, which was then resealed. I paid 5 sovereigns for that single taste, and I believe I got the better part of that bargain. Okay. Yeah, sure, Andraste's nude image, I guess. Can stone lie with purpose? Can it beckon with raw, feminine command, yet shine with an inspiring virtue? That challenge was posed to sculptor Arwind de Glass, artisan and son of Empress Voisin of Orlais. It was busy work and rhetoric in a time of excess, but answer he did, with the reserves of a nation and a passion unhealthy. His subject, Our Lady. Though not as depicted in traditional statuary, Arwin's mad ambition summoned the form of Andraste uninterrupted by the trappings of war and devoid of the vestments she assumed after death. It was living, commanding, obscene, yet inspired. To gaze upon it was to be enthralled, spiritually and physically. It was the latter that alarmed Chantry officials. They blanched at the thought of Our Lady being possessed by such a base appeal, even as they too were drawn. Basically, how dare you say that she could be sexy? You must never see anything that we think is being important as sexy, because sexy is less than. It's much easier. The people that focus on attractiveness have to be of lower intelligence. It's the only thing that makes sense, because I am not attractive and I focus on other things. Therefore, it has to be because I'm smarter. Anyone who makes artistic things of attractive people is because they are dumb. The work could not be destroyed without threatening the balance between empire and hallowed, so a grave censorship was enacted under the guise of honoring enchanters. Enchanters were tasked with extending the ethereal that hides the fade, drawing it around the form like a cloak. Our Lady remains in the stone in this world, but mortal eyes are forever denied her treasure and glory. She is veiled in every sense. As in all things, unintended consequences must vex those with pure intentions. Modesty would have been better served by a thickened sheet, drawn back when techniques were to be studied. As it is, the sculptor's skills are accessible only to an exploring touch, defining the shape by intimate caresses. All manner of strange congress has stemmed from tempted hands and the innocent wish for clarity.
Please, don't fondle and trust,
No worries there, didn't really plan on it. Urchin child?
Don't manhandle the urchin. He's not for sale.
I'm kind of stuck on the... I'm stuck on the find your own.
That's Gollum's name. Is Thaddeus Gigantus Crumbum the Third. He's my favorite.
I'm sure he loves the name, too. Well, that has been the Black Emporium. There's some interesting things around here. That's our symbol? No, it almost looks like the Amal symbol, though. There we go. We don't really have to go back there again for a very long time. Shawl of Dallas Darday, the Bone Pit. Yeah, let's head to Hightown. Finish off everything we can in the daytime, and then either head tonight and do some stuff with that, or maybe something else. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
So, what
hey,
do
Hubert.
you do, Aveline?
You know I'm a guard. Why are you asking?
I mean in your off-duty hours, for fun. You've heard of it, I hope.
She beats up thugs as a
These are my
vigilante.
off-duty hours.
And the trend of you scaring the piss out of me continues.
Fair.
Hear you're having problems with the Bone Pit. I can help.
Finally someone comes to help me. You look a bit unseasoned, but I hope you'll do. I had to suspend operations. My workers are lost in the mines or have run off. Served me right for hiring Ferelden refugees.
You're really gonna have to turn down that
I sent
racism.
others before, but no word. Perhaps they are putting me off. I need someone competent to figure out what is going on.
Do you? Well. Bone Pit, a tad ominous. What are you paying? What happened to the workers? You hire Ferelden. That's all I need to know.
I'll head there soon.
The sooner the better. Each day the mine is not running costs me more than those miners make in a year.
And that's your
the Bone
fault,
Pit
not
is just
theirs.
outside the city, Any map will show it.
That means they're not making enough money because you are a prick. Great. Thank you for just admitting that
Hey, Franz.
outright. Franz. Franz, New York. And people just wandering around doing shit. And do I want to turn? I need to turn. Wait a second. Is that the brothel? What quest is sending me to the brothel?
I don't keep moving. I'd rather not be mistaken for a client of...
Yeah, me too.
Rose.
No. No. Rumors? No. Side quest. Aha! The crest of the Blooming Rose. Oh.
Thank you.
Sorry, but we are in fact going inside. I want to find out what this is about.
And here we are in the brothel. My day is complete.
Let's not stay here for long.
We're not going to.
Madame Lucine runs the place for Harlan.
Got your
Or with him. Or
Hi.
I heard you lost
it's a coterie thing.
This
Sweet.
it?
Money. I should probably be leveling up. Let's see here. I need to bring my dex up all the way to that, and then we can worry about cunning. You know what? I'm just gonna stick with my bow for now. The element arrows sounds great. Let's bring your magic up to there. Continue making you an elemental numbness. Great. And you are just a menace in its own right. Battlemaster? Bolster, stamina regeneration. What else we got? Maintains constant awareness. Immune to flanking. Okay.
I had never thought to see this again.
Well, there you go.
Thank you.
Gotta get up, find it. Let's get... Yeah, I don't need to read about the Ender Girls. We'll come back here and do all the reading in the Blooming Rose when we have to explore the place for other reasons. We don't need to do anything with it right now, so I'm not going to.
Ugh, Kirkwall is so dull.
Then leave. Why does that keep happening? Alright, no more things in daytime. We got a lot to do at night. Let's head to out here next. It should be. And let's help out our favorite guardsman.
There might be some stragglers before the main group. Nothing we can't handle.
There's very little we can't handle, so makes sense. Oh, look at that! I found the stragglers, I suppose. Are they? Are they really? Well, let's make them run through this. Great. Oh, perfect. He's just standing in it. Oof. Like how this guy is standing right next to me and it means nothing. Boom. Well, that almost didn't work. Excuse me, stop shooting arrows at me. Only I may fire arrows. Hello, Calvin. My cat's being a whiny pest today. Yes, I'm talking about you. Pile of bones. And more people to kill. My favorite. Can we go through the main side? You know they're right there. Do we want to go around first? Yeah, we'll explore around after. Whoop. Hitting Alt makes me stop dead. But Alt was Dragon Age Origins button for highlight everything in the vicinity. I said stunt. There we go. Man, those archers had a bad time. And pinned. Great. And we're gonna pick up that loot. And then this loot. What we got? Yeah, that figures. Let's go this way first. Yeah, that's a dead end. It was hard to tell, but I was pretty sure this was going to turn out to be a dead end. I was right, but it's a dead end with rubble. Can I read anything good in the rubble? nothing in the robot. How much money do I have? 50. I just remember that, like, because I'm aiming for getting the 50 sovereigns for the end of the year, for
We're
Bertrand.
close to the ambush, Hawk. Be ready.
Train of thought just completely left. I was suddenly like, wait a second, how close am I to my goal for money? Not that close. Elf root was first used by the elves of Arlanthia, hence the name. The root gave their medicines particular efficacy. So when the Imperium conquered the elves, the Magisters adopted its use, and its popularity spread to all corners of the Empire. Elf root is a hardy plant with large green leaves that grows wild in many places. It is so common that it tends to show up in most gardens and fields, almost like a weed. Unlike a weed, however, most people appreciate having access to the wonderful little plant. The root can be used with very little preparation. Rubbing some of the juice on a wound, for example, will speed up healing and numb pain. Chewing on a slice of root treats minor ailments like indigestion, flatulence, and horse throat. There are several varieties, but the most useful herbalists are the bitter, gossamer, and the royal elf roots. I think we do find royal elf root at some point in some of the game. And I'm going to go all the way running through here and find nothing. I'm going to be upset that I wasted my time. Never mind. Well.
Can't we?
Hello there. Boop. Great. And then we're going to blow you up. Everybody's having a bad day. That was a waste. Yeah, they were dead before my arrow even hit them. Oh, there's more. This was a trap. And those guys are fucked. Great. And boop. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to hit. Reaver, you say? Knock you both on the ground. Whoa, I am wounded. Akil, very good. Alright. Everybody's cooldowns are not doing great. Shield defense unnecessary. What? That's not what I want to do right now, but sure, why not? Let's increase his dex as well. Sure. Sounds great. What can I have you do? Also sounds wonderful. Alright, let's do that. Mr. Reaver. Climbing up and shooting him. Hey, you. Focus on that one, please. Everyone else can deal with the other chumps. I need some heavy hitting for the big one. There we go. Good job. Beating that one. Great. Yeah, keep trying to hit me. That's wonderful. Hold still. Alright, or die.
Bad side. Used to be unhealthy.
Yeah, being on our bad side is in fact unhealthy. Alright. Well, I guess that's all we need over here. Does the map connect? Not quite, but we can kind of see it. Now that we have this elf root, we can make health potions, which is also wonderful. Just have to find a bit more. Ooh, I like bones. I like bones. And the rest of the ambush. Well, time to put a stop to this. Goodbye, slavers. That's a trap. That's where those barrels are there. Yep, there it is. Those don't look like French fighters. So of course they're coming for us. This is too easy. There it is. Looks like there's definitely going to be more. Boop. Great. Hey, what do you do? Nothing. Okay, you have... Yeah, you do. Fireball. And who has the most health? Yeah, I'll just have you go after them. Stop hitting. There's some damage here. Owie. Them. Blow up that one. Yeah, why is this guy... Here we go. Alright, anything else?
Well equipped for bandits, but dead is dead and the road is clear.
Yeah.
Captain Jevon needs to know of this. Back to the barracks for your just reward.
Well, let me... Just clearing this out
Trap.
first. Trap
That
right
should do
ahead.
it.
There we go. That's one thing that they did with 2 versus 1. That is a vast improvement. You revealed the entire row gets revealed instead of the way it was previously, where each section was an individual piece and you had to reveal each piece and break each piece down. They improved that greatly. Let's go turn this quest in. Which I'm only doing because I feel like it'll lead into the next quest after we have this conversation.
Not much room in the barracks, but there's nowhere I'd rather be.
Okay. Well, that'll change.
There's Jevon's office. Wait while I explain our initiative.
He's gonna love it.
I don't know how they do it where you're from, guardswoman, but I decide the patrols, not you and your whims. You may have been put up for lieutenant in your first year, but I'll have no show-offs in my command. Have I made myself clear? Report to your post before I have you and your Ferelden accomplice jailed.
So, he's a pig.
Well, what a charming fellow.
I don't have to like him, but he could at least listen. Bandits are dead. That's all that should matter. It's not the first time he's made me wonder like this. Something is very wrong.
Whose patrol was it?
So let's find out whose toes you actually stepped on.
Then we should check the duty roster and see who was supposed to take that route.
Seems like a good
What have
call.
I stepped in this time?
I don't know, but you brought me with you.
Not letting that one go, Captain.
Duty roster.
Aveline! I owe you for clearing that ambush the other night. Saved me a mess of trouble.
Brennan, that route was yours.
Happened like 5
It
minutes.
was. Single patrol. I'd have been dead for sure.
You would have been alone?
A lone guard isn't much of a patrol. Shouldn't need to be. That route was clear for weeks. First noise out of it was your big fight. The captain reassigned me after he heard what you did, and I passed the satchel to Donnick for his patrol tonight. The satchel? Pay and order assignments. Captain has us run deliveries to the outposts during light duty. It's usually just an updated copy of the roster. The satchel for that night was heavy, though. Anyway, thanks again, Aveline. You're a good one.
So the satchel gets heavy the same day we discover an ambush.
Yeah, your fellows are getting set up.
I bet there's a perfectly reasonable lie that explains why your captain arranged this.
I'd be willing to hear it, but not while a guard may be walking into a trap.
I agree.
Brennan said Donnick. A good man. Donnick. I've got his route.
Alright.
A night walk in Lowtown. Let's go make sure his quiet patrol stays that way.
Well, not too quiet, I hope. Wouldn't mind roughing some things up. But we're not going to Lowtown, because that's a nighttime quest now, and that we can deal with later, and instead we're going to go back out to the wilds. I just wanted to progress that to this point. And we can go there whenever we want. So we will. Wounded Quest. Long Way Home. Actually, you know what? Long Way Home does seem like a good way to end this one. Start having conversations with the elves over here. But first, let's fight whoever these fuckers are. Ah, Flint Company, that's right. Hi, I've been sent to kill you. Oh, just hit someone else with that, that's a shame. Oh, never mind. On your ass. Or on fire, that's good too. No, I haven't been counting. I just put a lot of arrows in. reign in death. Hallelujah. Oh dear. Ah, well, that's on you. And she is, in fact, terrifying. You know what, maybe it's time I actually took a look through my equipment. Edge staff is much better. What can I wear? That's pretty good. That on. Mark that as junk. I guess I'll have to put this on so I actually have a helmet. Just for a while that those boots were better and just having me putting them on. Oh, magic and willpower? Yeah, well, hold on, where are they at? Health regeneration, 16 magic. Strength and con? Nope. Dexterity, that I will eventually be able to wear. Yeah, stamina regen, sure. Plus 4 health, sure. Then again, let's do that instead. Is this one? Yeah. Alright. Because she already has one of those. Great. Delirium potions. Alright. Great. Let's continue looting and then meet the elves. That's where this is what's going on over here. Is some elves are hanging out. If you do the forest elf, wild elf, I can't remember, the not city elf origin in Dragon Age Origins, then the origin that you are a part of is part of this elvish troop. We find out about it when you talk about it. They talk about how one of their own became that warden is a thing that can happen. Otherwise, they have 2 elves that died because of something that horrible that happened, and he wasn't able to become a Grey Warden. I get that a lot.
I'm not expecting tea and cakes. I just need to see someone.
There's nothing here for any human.
That's not true.
Wait, this is the one the Keeper spoke of.
Oh, neat.
A Shemlin? I thought she'd be an elf.
Sorry.
Enter the camp. Keeper Marithari has been waiting for you.
Cause trouble, and you'll meet our blades, stranger.
Oogie. Ah, hello, Keeper.
Marithari, I was told to bring you this amulet.
Andarana Tishan, travelers. Indeed, I am Keeper Marithari. Let me look at you. There's truth in your face. A rare thing in a human.
You hear that?
Tell me
rare for
how
humans,
this
to be honest.
burden fell to you, child.
Saved my life.
This amulet's owner rescued my family from the Blight. In return, I agreed to bring it to you.
Took me a
I
year.
honor you for coming to me. But I'm afraid your part in this is not done yet. The amulet must be taken to an altar at the top of the mountain and given a Dalish rite for the departed. Then, return the amulet to me. Do this and your debt will be repaid.
Are you going to teach me this rite for the departed?
I will send my first with you. She will see to it the ritual is done.
Okay.
And when it is complete, I must ask that you take her with you when you go.
Huh?
Who is your first? First of what?
Your people would call her my apprentice, or heir. Meryl would have taken my place as keeper. But she has chosen a new path. Please, guide her safely from here.
As you wish.
If that's what you want.
It isn't what I want, but it is what she wants.
Uh-oh.
You will find Meryl waiting for you on the trail just up the mountain. Dareth Shiral.
Is it my imagination? Or is Master Island's temper getting worse with time?
The Tale of Ilorin. In the days after the rising of Zezkel, the Dark Ones covered every corner of the land. The Archdemon drove all the nations of the world before him, Shemlin and Elven alike. In the far north, where the hills wandered the plains, and the earth is eternally baked beneath the uncaring sun, the land which the Shemlin call Enderfells, a clan of our people lived, struggling to survive the Blight. Ilorin was their keeper, a hunter in his younger days, crafty as any wolf. He led his people always just ahead of the Darkspawn who chased them. But the old hunter knew that even Hela cannot run forever. They must turn and fight or be run down. At the foot of the Meriden, the Darkspawn cornered Ilorin's clan. That night the moon was strangled by clouds, the earth concealed by a dread mist that rose out of nowhere, so that the Elven could not tell up from down. In the confusion, the Darkspawn attacked. But Ilorin had prepared for them. All around the camp, the hunters had strewn dry grass, brush, and brambles. When the sound of rustling footfalls began, Ilorin and the other Harhan called upon the old magic. They struck out with lightning, and though the bolts missed the Darkspawn, they hit their targets all the same. The sea of kindling lit, and not one of the dark creatures made it through the fire to reach Ilorin's clan.
You weren't here this morning?
Okay, geography of Thedas. Thedas is bounded by to the east by the Amaranthine Ocean, to the west by the Thracian Forest and the Hunterhorn Mountains, to the south by the snowy wastes that lie beyond the Orkney Mountains, and to the north by Dornak Forest. The word Thedas is Tevinter in origin, originally used to refer to lands that border the Imperium. As the Imperium lost its stranglehold on conquered nations, more and more lands became Thedas, until finally people applied the name to the entire continent. The northern part of Thedas is divided amongst the Anderfels, the Deventer Imperium, Antiva, and Rivienne, with the islands held by the Qunari just off the coast. Central Thedas consists of the Free Marches, Navaria, and Orlais, with Ferelden to the south. What lies beyond the snowy wastes is a mystery. The freezing temperatures and barren land have kept even the most intrepid cartographers at bay. Similarly, the western reaches of the Anderfels have never been fully explored, even by the Anders themselves. We do not know if the dry steppes are shadowed by mountains, or if they extend all the way to the nameless sea. There must be other lands, continents, or islands, perhaps across the Amaranthian or north of Parvalen, for the Qunari arrived in Thedas from somewhere. But beyond that deduction, we know nothing. Fascinating. All does nothing. So we have blood writing.
Trained on you, Shed. Conduct your business with the keeper quickly.
Blood writing. After my encounter with the Dalish elves on the road to Navarre, I studied every book on the elves I could find. I sought out legends and myths and history and tried to make sense of it all. But there was only so much one can learn from books. I knew that in order to truly understand the Dalish, I would have to seek them out. A dreadful idea in hindsight. In my defense, I was young, and also inebriated when the idea popped into my head. Unfortunately, even after I had regained some measure of sobriety, the idea still held appeal. It proved remarkably resistant to my attempts to ignore it. I gave in after months of that nagging thought at the back of my head, and set out to learn about the Dalish firsthand. I tramped through the forest bordering Orlais for weeks before I finally was found by a Dalish hunter. I stumbled into one of his traps and suddenly was hanging from a tree with a rope around my ankles. So there I was, defenseless, upside down with my robe over my head, my undercloths on display. Descriptions of my predicament might elicit laughter these days, but trust me when I say it was a situation I would not wish on anyone. Thankfully, my ridiculous appearance may have caused my captor to stay his hand. What threat is a silly human with his pants showing? And so he sat, made a small fire, and began to skin the deer he had caught. I soon mustered the courage to speak. I tried to assure him that I was not there to harm him, but he laughed at this and replied that if I was there to harm him, I had failed terribly. Eventually, we got to talking. When I say talking, I mean I asked him questions, and occasionally he would deign to answer. He told me that while some Dalish actively seek out human travelers to rob or frighten, most of his people would rather be left alone. He seemed to believe that punishing the humans for past actions only led to more violence. I asked him about the intricate tattoos on his face. He told me they were called Valaslin, blood writing. His were symbols of Andruli the Huntress, one of the most highly revered elven goddesses. He said the Dalish marked themselves to stand out from humans and from those of their kin who have chosen to live under human rule. He said the Valasin remind his people that they must never again surrender their beliefs. When he finished skinning the deer, He cut me down. By the time I had righted myself and conquered the dizziness of the blood rushing out of my head, he was gone. I do not recommend that my readers seek out the Dalish for themselves. I was very lucky to have met the man that I did, and to have walked away from our meeting unscathed. Perhaps the Maker watches over those who seek knowledge with an open heart. I certainly would like to think so. Maybe. Can't really prove or disprove whether or not the Maker exists in this world any more than we can prove or disprove that God exists in ours. I am not looting that crate.
Shemlin.
Hello.
Wonderful. Make your business here quick.
Okay. What do you have? Mercenary staff, 8 is weak. Song of Sorrows. I do want to keep that because I do have someone who's going to eventually use it. Boots of the Isolationist. Neat. Can't use it though. Use any of this stuff. Ooh, that's better hit chance is good. Electricity damage, nature resistance. Rune of nature. Whoa, sorry about the burp. Alright.
Dalish crafting is second to none, I assure you.
Oh, I agree. Especially with like wood crafting. You want a good bow, you go to the Dalish. You want something made of stone or metal, you go to the dwarves. Before the ages were named or numbered, our people were glorious and eternal, and never changing. Like the great oak tree, they were constant in their tradition, strong in their roots, ever reaching for the sky. They felt no need to rush when life was endless. They worshipped their gods for months at a time. Decisions came after decades of debate, and an introduction could last for years. From time to time, our ancestors would drift into centuries-long slumber. This was not death, for we know they wandered the fade in dreams. In those ages, our people called all the land Elvanan, which in the old language means place of our people. At the center of the world stood the great city of Arlanthan, a place of knowledge and debate, where the best of the ancient elves would go to trade knowledge and greet old friends and settle disputes that had gone on for millennia. But while our ancestors were caught up in the forever cycle of ages, drifting through life at what we today would consider an intolerable pace, the world outside in lush forests and ancient trees was changing. The humans first arrived from Parvalan to the north, called Shemlin, or Quicklings, by the ancients. The humans were pitiful creatures whose lives blinked by in an instant. When they first met the elves, the humans were brash and warlike, quick to anger and quick to fight, with no patience for the unhurried pace of elven diplomacy. Yeah, that's so different from today, isn't it? But the humans brought worse things than war with them. Our ancestors proved susceptible to human disease. For the first time in history, elves died of natural causes. What's more, those elves who spent time bartering and negotiating with humans found themselves aging. Tainted by the humans' brash and impatient lives, many believed that the ancient gods had judged them unworthy of their long lives and cast them down among the Quicklings. Hold on. Sorry about that. Unworthy of their long lives. Our ancestors came to look upon the humans as parasites, which I understood is similar to the way the humans saw our people in the cities. See our people in the cities, yeah. The ancient elves immediately moved to close Elvenine off from the humans for fear that the quickening effect would crumble the civilization. And once again, honestly fairly justifiable. If refugees showed up on my shore and then all of a sudden everyone started dying by interacting with them, I would cut off too. Just like there's no real reason I could think of why you'd want to interact with someone who shortens your life by existing.
Great ancestors, no. You know what Orzammar is?
A cave.
It's cramped tunnels filled with nug shit and body odor. And every person there thinks he's better than you because his great-great-great-grandfather made a water clock or something.
I mean, that's not far off either.
People. Don't you even wonder what it would be like?
I have a
Mages
good
are your people. You want to go to
imagination.
the circle?
Why would I waste it on that?
Nothing here, really. There's really... Oh, man, I thought there'd be at least a elf root, maybe. Nah, fine. Let's go find Meryl. Really wish I hadn't had to run all the way to this end to find out there was nothing here, though. That would have been convenient. Alright, so Meryl is just up here, or do we have to fight before we run into Meryl? Cannot actually remember. No, we do run into Meryl right away. Why is my quiver upside down? I thought that looked weird. Hello there. Something real eerie about that. You're also moving your head kind of like a bird. You got the ring there?
I didn't hear. You must be
Do
the
we
one
need to
that
worry about Sauron?
Anathera.
I'm so sorry. I didn't ask your name. Unless... It's not rude to ask a human their name, is it? I'm Meryl. Which you probably knew already. I'm rambling, sorry.
Nice to meet you.
My name is Hawk. Glad to make your acquaintance, Meryl.
Thank you. I'm afraid I'm not very experienced with your kind.
That's okay. I'm not very
The
experienced
keeper
with
said
yours.
you came from Ferelden. I spent most of my life there. We only came north a few years ago.
I also came from
Have you been in the
Ferelden
Free
recently.
Marches long? Do you like it here?
I had to
The
come here as
Blight
well.
forced me here. Wasn't my choice.
I understand. We wouldn't have come here by choice either. We should go. Your task is for Asher Bellinar. It's not wise to make her wait.
Tell me about this right. Have you met her?
Do you know the witch who sent me here?
No, not personally. My people tell stories of her, though. You're very lucky. Most people who meet Asher Bellinar wind up in little pieces, hanging from the trees.
That was my experience with her as well. She was
Let's
a
get this
dragon
over
when I
with.
first met her in this game, so there's that. Alright, come along, Meryl. Let's fight some undead. Alright, well, I guess we'll just do this then. Come and get me, bone bags. Whoop, didn't need to do that. Well, that'll do it. Is there another corpse over there? Oh, there's more archers. Stun. Huh, my arrows just have really strong knockback effect, apparently. I thought I was doing something else. Good to know.
The keeper
Hold on, Meryl.
didn't mention you were a mage.
Yeah, not
All
really a
keepers
problem.
know a bit of old magic.
Yeah,
The stories tell us that all Elven once had the gift. But like so many things, it was lost.
yeah. Really
It's a
just us
keeper's
being
job
on
to
your land
remember,
really fucked
to
everything for you,
restore
huh?
what we can.
Well, thanks for the help.
I'm glad you decided to pitch in back there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. I wasn't sure I'd be much good.
Eh.
I've done a little fighting before,
everyone's
but
good with a little team
it was
team
always
help.
alone. I'll try not to hit anyone. On our side, I mean. I'm babbling again. Let's go.
You're okay. Aren't you just adorable? Alright. Let's move forward. And honestly, we don't have to worry about babbling. That's what YouTube's all about. Why did I have to run closer for that? Skeleton Archer, knock you ass. Oh, you're steering up, huh? Boop. Oh. I guess he's already dead. Sometimes you just gotta make it so it's inhospitable in your area.
I need to get
Man.
more exercise.
You're a mage, why would you need exercise? Just have good mana. Hello there.
So the
You're not-
keeper finally found someone to take you from here.
Yes.
Aren't you
Then
friendly?
finish your task quickly, human. We cannot be rid of this one too soon.
I'm sensing a story here.
I have made my choice. And I will save our clan whatever you think.
Is there a problem?
What's going on here, Meryl?
Nothing. Just ignorance. We should go.
His or yours? Meryl, his or yours? Probably both. Alright. Ooh, more elf fruit. Fuck yeah. Got 3 now.
A landslide blocked the path. There's a cave that should take us to the other side.
Yep. Into the cave we go. I honestly forgot that we had to take a cave over there too. I don't think this quest is that long because it's just to recruit Meryl. But
I'm sorry.
We'll see.
You're not really seeing the Dalish at their best.
Oh, it's impossible. I'm a human.
We're good people that look out for each other.
And you have plenty of
Just
reason.
not today, apparently.
So they are acting towards me irrationally because I am a human. And unfortunately for them, unfortunately for me, it comes from the fact that they have dealt with way more irrational than rational humans. So acting rationally towards humans has proven to be kind of a waste of time. So I'm not going to hold it against them for being irrational. I've also met a lot of irrational humans. It's difficult. Yeah. What did you do?
There's more going on here than you and Marathari have told me.
It's a misunderstanding. It doesn't matter now.
Kind of
Even
does.
if my people don't appreciate my efforts, I must see this through. Let's go. Ashabelanar isn't known for her patience.
That's true. If you play with logged into Dragon Age servers, you'll be part of the community that is no longer active. Last I checked, they didn't let me actually connect to those servers. But then also told me that I had something wrong inside the system. Or like my login was just borked because fuck EA. There's a spider, eh? Damn spiders. And bam. Well, I guess I'll just help out Meryl. Oh boy. Bad spider. Well, maybe Meryl didn't need help, I guess. There's a lot of spider corpses that I don't think were there a second ago. Hey, rubble. Ooh, right, the last descent. So every year there is a set of armor that can be found throughout the year. They like is the legendary armor for this year. Ours is the last descent. Bonus for completing item set. Yep. That's the year 1 rogue armor, I believe. Hey, let's read about the Enderfells. I skipped the last one. I guess we'll read this one. The Enderfells are a land of shocking extremes. It is the most desolate place in all the world, for 2 blights have left great expanses of the steep so completely devoid of life that corpses cannot even decay there. No insects or grub will ever reach them. It is a land filled with wonders like the Meridian, with its gigantic white statue of Our Lady carved into its face, her hands outstretched and bearing an eternal flame, or Westrupt Fortress, with its walls of living rock towering over the desolate plains below. The Enders, too, are a people of extremes, the most devout priests and the most deadly soldiers, the poorest nation in the world, and the most feared. Yeah, it's almost as if people are strengthened by adversity, so places filled with more adversity have stronger people. Weird. The lustrous white bloom silverite has long been prized by the dwarves for us in jewelry, rune making, and weaponsmithing. But on the surface, it is more commonly used for apothecaries and healers, since the metal does not rust. Many traditions believe it to be proof against poison. There is a tale passed down among the people of the Enderfells. A knight returned home after many years of war, only to be struck by an adder. His wife immediately bound the wound with a medallion of silverite, pressed against the bite like a poultice. By morning, the poison had left him, and the knight lived to an old age. I mean, it's definitely an old wives' tale, but neat, nonetheless. Oh dear. I'm gonna get attacked by more spiders, I already know it. Then we're gonna go outside and get attacked by more corpses. There they are! Those corrupted? Yeah, they are corrupted spiders, of course. Alright, well, I guess we'll go right here then. Come and get some. And right there. Bam. As much area effect as I can throw in there as possible. 1 spider, 2 spider, 3 spider, 4. Ah! Now there's more. Come on. 5 spider. 6 and 7. Let's go. Alright, there's 6 after 7. There we go. Alright, we'll go out that way as soon as I finish finding corpses. Corpses that need killing. Not what I was looking for, to say the least. Also, there's one down below. Hey, there's a chest. Fuck yeah. Whoa! Wasn't expecting that. Hey, Meryl, you got that guy under control? Because I can't seem to attack him from up here, which is stupid. Oh, there's also a Shadow Warrior. Just reduce his movement real quick, and then go like this. Is Avalyn down there helping Meryl? Yep, there she is. Alright, that's fine. We got the glass cannons up here dealing with this stuff. And I pinned his leader down, so that's a good move. Stun, blow up, kill. Wow, the Shadow Warrior became an elf. I expected him to kind of just be a corpse. Or be a shadow creature. But he was, in fact, a corpse. I did, in fact, make him a corpse. That's not... It's not untrue. Per se. Anyway, to the mountain graveyard. We have to say a rite of departure, I think the keeper said, for the Witch of the Wilds. I'm sure that's going to go well. Pile of bones. Alright. So, Meryl, what do we do about this wall of light here?
I can open the way forward. One moment.
Alright. What I said about blood magic being like sacrificing your own blood is a little bit different.
You called something here. Are you insane? Yes, it was blood magic, but I know what I'm doing. The spirit helped us, didn't it?
They don't keep helping. It did help us, and there is a difference between spirits and demons.
Surely there was a safer way. Be careful up ahead.
It's just being able to tell the difference.
Things prowl the heights.
And to those who refuse to acknowledge that there is a difference,
in the days
anyone who sees the
Alfheim,
difference can only be seen as evil.
The elders came here to sleep. Uthanara. The endless dream, they called it. But they don't sleep peacefully anymore.
Well, Avalyn didn't like that. That makes sense. She's kind of a Templar's widow. Deep mushrooms refer to the entire group of fungi that grows underground in caves in many parts of the Dwarven Deep Roads. Collection can be a dangerous task, as the Deep Roads are often infested with darkspawn. Because of this, Dwarven merchants can recruit casteless hirings for the job, and pay them a meager percentage of what they earn selling the mushrooms to surfacers. The most common varieties used in the herbalist trade are the bright cap, ghoul's mushroom, and brimstone mushroom, almost all of which tend to carry the darkspawn's corruption. While they cannot transmit the disease, this trait often makes them quite poisonous. Deep mushrooms should only be handled by experienced herbalists and should never be consumed without first being adequately cleaned and prepared. Careless consumption has been known to cause insanity, severe abdominal cramping, and death. I wonder if it's in that order. It's an interesting order, to say the least. I want to go that way.
Be careful!
Whoa! Okay. What's this? Arcane horror. Yeah, figured. Well, let's have some fun. Arcane horror. Whoa! Alright. Is that what we're doing? I can hit you with big, sharp sticks too. Well, it still took damage. He still stopped moving. Come closer. Great, thank you. And then everybody back up. Alright, Evelyn. I want you to focus on that one. Everyone else seems to be honestly doing fine. Let's pop a quick heal on me just because you have it. I believe in you, Evelyn. Evelyn. Corpse dead. And pinning shot. That should help you along. Evelyn, it kind of looks like you're attacking not the person who told you to attack. Could be wrong, though. Oh, there's a Shadow Warrior again. That's unfortunate for him. Oof. Well.
I think it's safe.
Okay.
Place the amulet on the altar.
Sure. Right. First, with the Magister. Definitely something that needed to be killed now. Alright, let's begin.
Aharin amalana salen. Emma ira au bella zaviranan. Isalahamin vinani.
I don't have any translation for any of that.
In usanera narivas.
Huh. Welcome back. Missed you. This is their way of retconning it if you had killed her in the previous game. So that way it's like, oh, this is how you killed her because she planned for it and is actually alive.
One of the people. I see. So young and bright. Do you know who I am beyond that title?
No.
I know only a little.
Then stand. The people bend their knee too quickly.
The people.
So refreshing to see someone who keeps their end of a bargain. I half expected my amulet to end up in a merchant's pocket.
Made a deal.
I agreed to deliver the amulet, though you could have told me you were inside it.
Just a piece. A small piece, but it was all I needed. A bit of security, should the inevitable occur. And if I know my Morrigan, it already has.
Why not come yourself? Are you real? Are you real? Is a good question.
I don't understand. Are you some kind of vision?
Must I be in only one place? Bodies are such limiting things. I am but a fragment cast adrift from the whole, a bit of flotsam to cling to in the storm.
Yeah, what?
A fragment.
You do not need to understand, child.
Nah, Hawk doesn't need to understand. I come with
saved my life, just as I once saved yours. An even trade, I think.
I mean, your life's a little bit more valuable at the moment because of how ancient it is and powerful. So what now?
You have plans, I take it.
Destiny awaits us both, dear girl. We have much to do. Before I go, a word of advice. We stand upon the precipice of change. The world fears the inevitable plummet into the abyss. Watch for that moment, and when it comes, do not hesitate to leap.
Okay.
It is only when you fall that you learn whether you can fly.
Must be nice to have wings.
Cheap advice from a dragon.
We all have our challenges.
We're going to regret bringing her here.
Yeah.
Regret is something I know well.
I doubt it.
Take care not to cling to it, to hold it so close that it poisons your soul. When the time comes for your regrets, remember me. As for you, child, step carefully. No path is darker than when your eyes are shut.
Yeah, that goes to the question I asked previously of your ignorance or his, Meryl.
You have my thanks and my sympathy.
Huh? What do you mean my sympathy? What? What do you, like, see the future or something? Kind of. Oh, and also we can just do that. Yeah, so I don't like that retconning. Like her turning into a dragon, not a retcon. That's fairly common. Her flying around as a dragon all willy-nilly, not as common, because it was kind of like everyone thought the dragons were extinct until suddenly one appeared in the previous game. And she's just like, people think dragons are extinct as I fly around. It doesn't... No? Cunning. Let's see here. Yeah, you know what? Pinning shot sounds a great thing to upgrade. Still neutral, huh? Yeah, she doesn't like when I protect apostates. Or anyone who does magic, for that matter. But if you can take some of my damage, or just have better damage resistance. Oh, I think I should probably focus on getting her some more passives. More abilities, maybe? Pummel Strike, Stun Chance. Man, so many of your things are just activatable, sustained abilities. We need... There's an arc. Assault. That sounds great. Well, I want you to be more focus-fired on... She's the one who takes down single opponents. One-on-one fights, I send Avalon in to take out the strongest thing. That's what I want her doing. But I think Sword and Shield, she's supposed to be built more for defensive protection.
I don't like the looks of this.
Well, me neither. Name me neither. Let's hit it with a fireball. Avalon. That's not what that does. That's not what I thought it did. Rally sounds wonderful. Taunt sounds great. Shield defense to activate that instead. Yeah, why don't you have speed activated? Great. Oh yeah, summon dog. Great. Oh, the revent's going. Oh no. Alright. Well, let's do this then. You know, I was actually concerned, but this seems salvageable. I legitimately thought that I might not be able to win that fight. And Avalon put him down. All I had was 8 silver on... Oh, we're not done yet. Okay. Boom. Where's... Oh, there she is. She was hitting him with, Bethany.
I got blood on my coat.
You definitely got blood on your coat. You got blood on your bloat. That's what I wanted to say. Good job, Brain. I don't remember how far this goes. Or even where... Ooh, chests. Can I pick a sated lock? Fuck yeah. Basically done this episode. Let's see what's at the top of this hill. And then depending on what happens up here, we'll probably end the episode. And if not, we'll cut down to... No, we'll end the episode here and we'll finish off Meryl's quest in the next one. Ooh, lightning. I like lightning. I like doing lightning damage. We just auto-saved. Well, this is a place we're going to get told to come back to later. That's the barrier. Sundermount. Let's read that. Kirkwall is guarded by mountains to its north, the tallest of which is Sundermount. The mountain has a fearsome reputation. Legend says it was the site of the final battle between the Tevinter Imperium of old and the ancient empire of elves that perished with Arlenthian. Both sides unleashed horrors into the waking world, and feyed creatures prowl the heights of this very day. Unaware that the war for which they were summoned is long since over, explains the Shadow Warriors. There is a tale in the Free Marches that blessed Andraste, upon reaching Kirkwall with her armies, sojourned up the slopes of Sundermount alone. She stayed there 3 days. When she returned, she wept as if her heart was broken. I stayed 2 months in Kirkwall, and despite my best efforts, I never found a guide willing to take me up the mountain. That also makes sense. Let's level up the sister. For some more mana. And... or Hex of Torment. Really just don't want to do that. Just Grass for now. Keep you being elemental. Alright, I'm also going to save the game. Again. Here we go. And that is the end of today's episode of Dragon Age 2. In the next episode, we're going to go down the hill. I'm going to actually start the next episode back where we just were with Meryl, because that's where we have to... over here. Once we go through there, Meryl just like, hey, you want to just go all the way back? And we'll just do it then. And that's what we'll do. We'll just end it then. We'll end it now. And the next episode is going to start with us heading out with Meryl. But for now, you guys have yourselves a wonderful night.